if I wear sunglasses, like it's the black one, everything is just gray. If you wear green one, everything is green, and then pink one, oh, everything is so lovely pink. So that is like the from each person's background, you grew up differently, different background, and all the information you collect through your five senses, your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, momentarily are different. Like you're looking at me, your information that comes through your eyes, or you're seeing me, but that's not the same as me. It's opposite. So you see that each perception or the knowledge from perception collected momentarily is different. So there is no way that you have the same perception as mine. And so it's like all perception will be kind of conditioned. Will like wearing tinted glasses. So that is called like misperception of nature until we take off the glasses and this is reality. It's not pink. It's not gray. It is what it is. So this is the major cause of suffering because of misunderstanding what the true nature is. And because of that, there are sensual cravings. Sensual cravings are you love to see things. Oh, that's beautiful. But I don't want to look this way, only that way. Like, that's beautiful there, but this is no. We always crave for something and reject another. That is what the mind does all the time. So the cravings and rejection, is always there. So sensual cravings, that means that you crave for something that you see, that you hear, you taste, and smell, and the touch, the contact through the body. These are sensual cravings. And in terms of the sensation you have, there are also duality, pleasant and unpleasant. Again, see, it also involves duality again. And we always crave for something positive. Always, that's the nature of it. Because of misunderstanding. We think that it will always, stay that way. But then, since it's impermanent, it's gone. So we have to run and look for, this is the new pleasant feeling. So we always run around searching for the new happiness, new good sensation, pleasant sensation. And that's craving. That is central cravings that brings suffering without knowing that, like running all the time, searching for that is suffering. So this is the major part. And craving for existence, that means that craving to be someone or to have something. Craving to be also includes craving to be more healthy, craving to have longer life, craving to be a prime minister, craving to be a monk or a nun with lots of people respected. So that's like, craving to be or craving to have, craving to have whatever your belongings that you wanted. These brings forth the suffering. The suffering will be the consequence of those kinds of cravings. And so there are only, the other one is opposite to it. Craving for not existence. I don't want to be the nun anymore. I don't want this status. See, this is craving for not to be. So I would like to be something else and not the nun. So you don't want to be a wife, you don't want to be something. That's craving for not to be, or craving for not to have. Like having this property has lots of burden. I don't want to take care of this place. I'll just let it go and then let it be. I'll be gone. So this is craving not to have, because it's a lot of burden. Okay? So all these three types of cravings will always bring suffering. So the suffering is a consequence of these three kinds of cravings. Whether you realize or not that these three types of cravings arises in your mind almost all the time. That's the problem. We don't realize that. And that is why suffering happens within our mind, consequently, without realizing. And the consequence of that, that it'll create the body and mind. How does it create the body and mind? Let's say if I would like to see something and I crave for seeing that, that means that my eyes didn't see it, then I have to move my eyes to see the view. See? So the movement, I have to move it. The body is moving towards that direction. So this is the moment when the new form or the new posture arises. Like in the beginning, I stand like this, but I crave to see the mountain. Then you see that my posture's like this. It moves, and then the posture changes because of cravings. So this means that this moment is the new body already, not the former type of body, which is posture. So, like standing like this is one moment, the body's like this, and then the next moment like this is also the new body. It's not the same one. So, the movement of cravings, the craving causes the movement of the body. So the new body happens momentarily all the time through wanting to see, wanting to hear, wanting to eat, wanting to taste, and wanting to touch. So you have to create the new type of body. That's the body movement. And of course, with the mind, there is always an urge, like I want to see. There's an urge arising in the mind, and then my eyes start moving, and then I see it. There's always an urge arising in the mind. That's craving. Even when you want to talk, there's an urge to talk. So that the voice comes out in accordance to your thought. So this is from the mental side. That is the consequence of the craving. So the craving creates the body, at the new moment, and it also creates the consciousness, the new consciousness, also with a different moment. And that is why the consequence of the suffering or the craving is the body and the mind itself is the consequence. And then undeniable. There's no way that you cannot feel unpleasant things. Unpleasant and pleasant is within the, just like you cannot run away from your own shadow. It always follows you. Like pleasant and unpleasant sensation is always within the body. You cannot run away from them. But we try to run away from it all the time. Like, oh, it's hot, I have to go. This is uncomfortable. It's like that. Just because we do not realize it, it is something that it has to happen that way in the beginning. So the existence of unpleasant and pleasant is there within the body. And then there will be all uncomfortable sensations, of course, especially when you are sick. When you're old, I'm old, you're old, that there's lots of suffering, right? And it's undeniable. And last one is death. That's guaranteed. Everyone will go there. And you might just say that I'm not afraid to die, but no one wants to die in pain, and no one guarantees you that you will die peacefully without pain. So you're going to go there, and there is no guarantee. Isn't that dreadful? You're going to somewhere where there is no guarantee for everything. And so, again, we do by experiencing repeatedly like this, like in cycles, death and birth, experiencing all kinds of pleasant and unpleasant, unexpected things, and like hope and without getting what you want, those are all kinds of sufferings in our life. If you see that, oh, it's common, it's fine with me, that's fine with you. Well, I mean, it's enough for me. Okay, so these are consequence of suffering. This is the cause. So the whole thing is considered to be suffering part. True. Cause and consequence. Now it comes to happiness. Of course, this is duality. The Buddha also talked about the happiness side. With the happiness, there is also cause of happiness and the consequence of happiness. And the cause of happiness, according to the Buddha, is not the same as the happiness to gain from pleasant or unpleasant feelings at all. There's nothing with that, because it comes in the nature as the pair. As long as you have pleasant, then unpleasant is always there. But for Buddhism, it's like, it's beyond that. The happiness which is beyond the duality of pleasant and unpleasant is the goal that the Buddha says that it exists, and we can reach that goal beyond this duality of pleasant and unpleasant. And the cause of this kind of happiness consisted of the training of body and speech, training of mind, and cultivation of wisdom. There are 3 parts, not only one. Okay, and if you have trained this, you have accomplished these three parts, what you gain is the consequence of the happiness, which will be complete ending of suffering, because it's beyond pleasant and unpleasant. And it'll be penetration into reality as it is. You will take off your glasses. And you will have right perception of the nature. Of course, after taking off the tinted glasses, the perception is in accordance to the reality in the nature. And then there is no more birth and death. That's the final goal. But it doesn't mean that you achieve that right away. I mean, the achievement of happiness will be step by step, gradually. Okay? And here, the happiness in details, the training of body and speech, training of mind, and cultivation of wisdom are in detail into altogether 8 factors. We call it Eightfold Path. See, this is training of body and speech. We call it morality. And this is training of mind, which we call it meditation. And there are 3 of those. And then the last one, wisdom, which we call vipassana. Vipassana is there. Okay. And now we can go into details of this one, the first one. Well, before we go into details, I'd like to explain that the Buddha says that Eightfold Path is the middle path. You might have heard that in Buddhism, the teaching is middle path. And why is it middle path? Because as you see that in all existence in the world, there are duality. Pleasant and unpleasant, blah, 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 blah. And the middle path in Buddhism means that you let go of this extreme and the other extreme. It's not try to subdue something unpleasant and try to only step onto the side which is pleasant. In that case, you have to control your mind all the time. Control your mind to, stay here. You have to push your mind only this. And you need lots of effort to control it only to the pleasant side. But in Buddhism, it's not that. In Buddhism, you let go of the pleasant side, you let go of unpleasant. Then that means that's the middle. Letting go of this, letting go of that. And that is a very important sentence in the most important teaching of the Buddha. It's called Dhamma Sutta, the most important, to turn the will. The first 10th sentence before he went in the detail of the Eightfold Path is, what's wrong is you're attached to either of the extreme, either of pleasant, either of unpleasant. There are two extremes. So it's wrong already from the beginning. Okay? Just like if you try to control something or too relaxed or too controlled, this is also too extreme. So letting go of both, then that's the thing. So this is the major consideration for you in the beginning, to know that only when you're not attached to both dualism, both extremes, then you let go, then you're in the middle. And in order that you could achieve letting go of both extremes, we need to train the body and the mind, and to cultivate wisdom. To train the body, which is morality. The first one is right action. Refrain from killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct, which we have already asked for a precept this morning. And it's part of reality. So it's like you just more or less take a vow for the nuns and you refrain from these harmful things. Right actions, right speech, truthful, beneficial, timely, and with loving kindness intentions. So it's not only about lying. You really have to really be more mindful when you speak, whether it is beneficial or not. If it's not, you better not say anything. So truthful, beneficial, timely. Timely is also important. You're doing something and talking about something, right? Suddenly just go into the middle of them. I would like to tell you something. It wouldn't work. So the right speech also deals with time and with loving kindness intention. It deals with sincerity. I can say, oh, you're so beautiful, but in my mind's like I have hidden agenda. So it's not loving kindness. Loving kindness is like good intention. Even though I say very harsh word, but then if my intention is, I really would like you to be a better person. It is considered to be with loving kindness intention. And right livelihood, it's about the career which does not cause harm to other lives, cause harm to society and to yourself. Okay, if you work in the bar and you drink and you're happy with it, then you're harming yourself and you're harming the society because you promote the mindless state of consciousness to other people when you drink. So that's wrong career. And of course, like if you deal with killing, like working in the butcher shop, something like that, fisherman, that's very obvious that, of course, you're harming other animals, like, it's obvious. But there are some careers which, there are some of my devotees working in the advertising company. And they work to promote cigarettes and liquor. That's a lot of money involved. And then they need like at least 8 hours to think about how people will drink more, how people will smoke more. And just think about the mind intending to do that for the society. That's harmful without knowing, even though it seems to be like perfect career, it seems to be legal, it seems to be good, but it's not right livelihood. Nowadays in Thailand, there are also doctors working. They're like professors in the hospital, very famous, and they're expert in a kind of surgery. And there was one case which needs normal surgery, but then since this professor was in charge of the patient, he said that the patient was transferred into the operation room already, but then he refused to do it for the patient because he requires special surgery that only he has that ability. And so the patient was waiting in the operation room and finally was rejected out of the hospital. And this was a very big case in Thailand, just because this professor, a doctor, wanted more money from his expertise. It's nowadays. Well, not to mention the career of being president, the leader of the country. Nowadays, they lead people into so much sufferings, and they really harm the world. That's not very likelihood at all. Okay, so this deals with morality. And I believe that all of us here do not have that much of the problem going for on the direction of having cultivation of morality. And now this is quite I think that the training of the mind on meditation is basically a lot of time are misunderstood. Let's say when you say meditation, what is it that you think what meditation is? Is like sitting, close your eyes, and do not move for a long time. What is it? See, there's a term meditation there, but that is not all. The term of meditation includes 3 factors. The first one, right effort. The second one, right concentration. And the third one, right mindfulness. There are 3 things that you have to train, and there are 3 different ways, 3 different techniques for one type of training for the mind. So the mind needs 3, not just one. The first one is right effort. Right effort means that you have to train your mind to let go of unwholesome thoughts or emotions already arising. I mean, everyone has unwholesome part because we're a human being. We can make mistakes. There is no one 100% perfect and 100% pure and with 100% meritorious mind. So of course, if there is unwholesome thoughts or emotion arising already, we have to try to let go. Like even a small mistake. If you've done some mistakes, and then you can always, the mind will bring it back to you. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And then the whole event or the whole vision of the past that you've done will come back into your mind and disturb you again and again. I shouldn't have done that. Coming up, just let go because it's the past, realizing that it's gone. What you have to do is to prevent unwholesome thoughts or emotions not yet arising. Tell yourself not allow it to repeat. Not allow yourself to repeat the same mistakes ever again. Start from now. It's very important to start from now. Put the determination, I'm not going to repeat it ever again. So the present moment is very important, not the past. You cannot go back to the past and correct any mistakes. So now, forget about the past. Start now. Determine it. Okay? So this is about unwholesome part. And the other 2 factors are about wholesome. Everyone has accumulated wholesome side in yourself already. So what we have to put an effort in is to maintain wholesome thoughts or emotions already arising. So within your mind, there are always, some good thoughts, good emotions, maintain it. Or not only the things arising in your mind, even your action. Like if you sit and meditate every day, and this is the good quality that you know that, okay, this is good, this is something wholesome that you try to cultivate. Make it every day. No excuse. Okay, today I would like to sleep a little longer. So then it means that you do not put any determination to maintain it. Your good quality is there. Maintain it, not allow it to decrease. Not even just a single thing. Just maintain it. And the last one, develop wholesome thoughts or emotions, not yet arising. So something that you've never done, which is good, make it happen now. I mean, as little as, just saying, thank you, or I love you, or, just touching someone that sometimes you've never touched the person, or even if someone whom you think you can never look at her face any longer, you can try secretly behind her back. Okay, I wish you well. I wish you happiness behind her back. So that's like the cultivation of loving kindness that you can always cultivate. And do it not only when you sit and meditate and close your eyes. Do it in real life, all the time that you can think of. So then you create this kind of loving kindness and good intention towards everyone, even though you don't know. Okay? So this is about right effort. And you need to put an effort, a lot of effort, in order to let go of the past, in order to start again, determining not to repeat your mistake, to put lots of effort in maintaining your good heart, and put lots of effort in cultivating a better part of you. So you're going into a better version of yourself, the best version of yourself. And in Buddhism, why? Why is it going to the wholesome? And, it's about letting go of unwholesome, you see. We train the mind to let go of unwholesome. But however, at this stage, we try to cultivate wholesome. We have to cultivate wholesomeness because only at the time that the mind is wholesome, then there is no ignorance overshadowing the mind. So the wisdom can arise only when there is no ignorance overshadowing it. So that's very important. And that is the reason why we have to, at this point, put an effort to, open the door so that the ignorance is gone, and then it's ready for the wisdom to come. So this is right effort. So the result and the goal of right effort is to set up strong determination to develop mental power, because you have this determination, then it's very strong. You trained your mind for mental power, very strong mental power.
Can I ask?
Yes, sure, yeah, good.
This right effort is also to know our limits, where to stop. Maybe I want to meditate 12 hours. I want to put a lot of effort, but it won't be positive at the end because it's too much.
See, the thing is that now it's like too extreme.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you know that there is some responsibility, if you're waiting for but then you reject that because you want to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have anything waiting, you have a lot of time, you can meditate, then go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So this is not, it has nothing to do with right effort.
No. Okay.
Right? Because it's about letting go of something unwholesome.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, you're meditating. and you want to maintain the good part of meditation without having any other responsibility to do, so you can maintain it. Just do it for the sake of maintaining it. And the next one, right concentration. What I write here is mental organ over sensual organs to focus on one object. Because right now we have 6 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body. That's the 5 organs on the body. And the 6th organ is the mind. So the purpose for right concentration is try to use the mental organ much more than the sensual organ, which in our normal life we use them all the time. But now we want to create the ability of the mental organ over the ability of the sensual organs, which always leads you to something outside. But the mental organ will, let you coming back in. And when it has more ability over this 5 sense organ, it is very powerful. And right concentration also deals with focus on one object. This is called right concentration, using mind organ to focus on one object. And just like when you say, okay, you observe breathing. Observe breathing. So that's one object. And then after that, naturally, after the mind is being calmed down, the awareness of breathing will naturally be let go. Naturally, you don't need to do anything. It's just when the mind calms down, it's different states of consciousness already. So with the different states of consciousness, the object that it can cognize will also be different one. So when the mind is not at calm, then you're aware of something which is more gross. Like breathing is considered to be gross object. So you focus on that, and once the mind is calm, then the mind will cognize something which is more subtle, like the emptiness or the calmness of the mind that you like merging into the cosmos. And that is when the mind has already let go of something grosser and step up into cognizing one object also, which is something much more subtle. And then especially in your case, the mind is very powerful that it shuts off the hearing. Of course, you sit and close your eyes, you don't see anymore. But now, when the mind focuses so intensely with the object of the mind itself, it just let go of hearing, let go of the 5 sense organ to receive any knowledge totally. So that is the purpose of right concentration. And the result of training the mental organ this way, it'll develop strong mental power. Okay, from right effort, you develop mental power. And since you have this focus on one object, the strong mental power will develop stability of the mind over distraction. Yes?
I have a question.
Yeah.
But when you said focus on one point, but when you have a job and you must focus on different points, how do you do that?
You cannot. See, that is why you cannot use this method while working. I mean, right concentration can be done with specific surrounding. You need to enclose everything so that it's calm. So calmness is the prerequisite for the practice of right concentration. Mm-hmm. And you see that then it's conditioned. It's being conditioned by the surrounding. That is right concentration. And that is why we have to go to the next one, which is the different way of training the mind. When the surrounding is not that calm, we have to train the mind to be mindful. And we have to use the word right mindfulness. What is it to be considered right? And we know what mindfulness is. A lot of people would say, drive mindfully. That is not considered to be right mindfulness in Buddhism. Or you're not mindful at all. You always forget your things. You never know where you put your key. That's not right mindfulness in Buddhism. Okay, so the word mindfulness is sati. In Pali, it means recall. That's it. Recall what? Recall your mind back in to your body and your mind. Just realizing that it comes back. Realizing that it comes back. Realizing that it comes back. That's being mindful. But come back to what? That's the point. There are 4 foundations that the Buddhists specify, that there are these 4 things to anchor the recollection. It comes back to either, I would say, either body, either feeling, either the mind, or either Dhamma. Either, not all, and not step by step. It depends on your temperament. Truly, someone, will be recalled to the body. What's the body? It means that you'll be recalled to your breathing, like that happens on your body, or you'll be recalled to your posture. Standing and walking, there's movement. So this is also body, because there is movement. Posture is ever changing. So that's coming back to anchor with the body. So you know that, it comes back. It comes back on the right point. It has to come back on the right point. So the first point is the body. And the second one, feeling. Feeling includes sensation and emotional feelings. So when you practice, when you come back to the sensation, it's also part of right mindfulness. When you sit and meditate, you start with breathing, and then you're aware of the sensation. That means that you combine 2 things together, which is good. See, because sensation keeps on changing. Okay, so it coming back to feelings or sensation is the right foundation, the right point to come back to. And the third one, come back to the mind. What I always explain, like the mind means, that there is, the mind kind of shows the action of it. When you're angry, the mind has some kind of action. Or when you crave for something, like craving, there's an action. Craving or aversion, rejection. Craving, that's an action of the mind. Or with delusion, you will always come back to the same point. It's like sometimes you keep on asking yourself the same questions, and then once you think that, this is the answer, then it comes back again. The same question arises, and again you come back to the answer, and again it arises. It's like it never goes any place. Just like that. That's delusion, which is considered to be restlessness of the mind. That is, there are 3 actions in the mind. In short, craving, you crave for that action. Mind shows that way. Rejection, or coming back. Delusion. There are 3 major actions in the mind, which you can also observe. The last one, the Dhamma. Dhamma, in this case, means, in fact, there are, in this nature, there are cause and consequence. There's no such thing as self. And then the body and the mind depend on each other. When you have pain, when you have stomach ache, you have pain, you feel the sensation. And after having this, you have bad emotion. right? The emotion also changes. It depends on the pain of the body. Then the mind depends on the body pain. And after that, you start to think about, there's lots of worriness. May I die soon? What happened to me? This is like an action of thinking. That is the consequence from this. The step 1 is this. Step 2 is emotions. And step 3, proliferation of thought. Fear, things like that. One step, the procedure is 1, 2, and 3. So you'll start to see the process, which it's not you who create the process. So you will start to observe the process in sequential stages like that. So that's the Dhamma. And there is also interaction between this mind-body within myself and that mind-body. There is some kind of interaction within her mind-body. And now I can observe that, there's an anger. I can feel it. Or I can see it from her face, right? And then I can feel it. And after feeling her anger, I'm agitated too. So, see, you have this interaction all the time. And when I see your face, that's like loving kindness. My mind always changes. It just feels softened down. So this is interaction of my own mind body and the interaction between, everyone. Also like mofa. Mm-hmm. Or we see mofa. The feeling in my mind also changes in accordance to the thing which is outside. So these are the Dhamma. Everything interacts in cause and consequence process. So that is the Dhamma. So with this mindfulness, you never know your temperament, whether you'll see the process coming back to see the process, which is Dhamma, or you will come back to be mindful of breathing, or you will come back to be mindful of your body movement and posture, or the sensation. Each of them is fine, as long as they are for this, that you come back onto. That's it. Only these 4 foundations are considered to be right mindfulness. Apart from this, no. And right mindfulness is considered to be the first step to vipassana, the only step to wisdom. Without this, there is no way that wisdom can arise. Yes?
I was wondering if the right mindfulness is also, I don't have to move from one thing, like recall from one thing and like force myself to another thing, but more also if I'm immersed in a feeling, that the right mindfulness is just recalling that feeling is still there, but now I'm not immersed in it anymore. So that the experience is actually the same. It's just I'm out of it, but the thing that I'm paying attention to is the thing itself is the same, but I'm paying attention in a different way.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. See, the thing that you're, this is object. The object, which is, so I would say that the body is an object of consciousness, and you are an observer. So if you observe the bird flying, and you're at the present moment, the bird is flying, so it's wrong object. So that means that when you come back to the right object, which is your feeling, that's good enough. So that is right mindfulness. But the problem is, if you're immersed into the feelings and you flow with the feeling, that means that you do not have enough stability of mind. That means that you have to go back and practice more concentration so that your mind is more stable. It's like, in combining the 2 things, it's just like I'm a guard, in front of the door. I'm guarding all my senses. This is me standing, and there are so many things happening, like passing by me. Good feelings pass by, bad feelings pass by. Good people, there are so many objects that I can be aware of. just aware. It's like acknowledge. Oh, this thing passed by. Acknowledge the second thing. Oh, pleasant and unpleasant. Oh, so it's about acknowledging. Okay, so mindfulness is only acknowledging it. But if it is done in the wrong way, you follow it. It's like unpleasant. Oh, just so unpleasant. When will it change? It's so unpleasant. So you just forget to guard the door. You're not doing the responsibility of the guard. So mindfulness also deals with guarding. Guarding, just acknowledge what things come by. Acknowledge, and that's it. That go, you've already aware or acknowledged. No more than you pay more attention to that one. It's like, so this is also the point which if there is no balance of right concentration and right mindfulness, that can happen very frequently. So you just I think that remember to guard the door without, don't forget to guard and just acknowledge that's enough. So these are considered, only these three things are considered meditation. And right mindfulness can also be done when you go to work, right? When you eat, when you talk, when you move, your body moves all the time. You can be mindful of your movement. You can even be mindful of your blinking eyes. You're like moving lips while talking. It's kind of fun, like observing that all these lips are moving. Just like a robot. Or walking, sometimes you're like, oh, this is like a robot moving. So that's like mindfulness. Just acknowledge and aware. No judgment. We'll go into details of that later on. So this is only at the level of meditation. And now we go into what you call vipassana. Okay, so with this, what happened is when there are so many objects passing by, and then you have direct experience of each object, and suddenly there is the conclusion about 5 aggregates. That there are feelings, there are body, there are consciousness, there are mental formations. There are these 5 aggregates, which we can also come back into that in detail later. You will experience these 5 aggregates. Experiencing in such the way is considered to have right view. Experiencing the cognitive process, you can follow and acknowledge, like step 1, the stomach ache. Step 2, emotion, bad emotion, feeling so bad, so sad. And step 3, really bad worriness and fear and blah, 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 blah. And step 4, trying to search for someone in order that you can go to hospital. So, see, this is like, there are processes, 1, 2, 3, 4, which you can experience it directly. You see this process going on. So that's right view. And that's wisdom. Or you can also see dependent origination, which, we won't go into that until at a later period. But for example, with the body and the mind depend on each other. Like if you're angry, you feel heat. The heat is fire element happening in the body. It happens together with the mind, which is anger and fire element. This is the body and this is the mind. Happens like this all the time, momentarily. If we see the phenomenon this way, then that is right view. That is vipassana. Or the 3 common characteristics, which are impermanent, suffering, or non-self. We say anicca, dukkha, or anatta. Right? but it wouldn't come into, oh, that's impermanent. It's not, it doesn't come in word. You see, I mean, the mind see that like this, and then you see that, and then you know that, oh, it's impermanent. Just like that, without thinking or reflection. It's like, just like I stand like this, and then this is also impermanent. And it keeps on being changing all the time, every moment. But we didn't realize that, oh, there's always impermanence in everything. Only when you have direct experience. And then the conclusion comes right into your mind. Oh yeah, that's impermanent. And it comes like really coming to your mind. Not just thinking. And suffering. Your suffering is like, you will always experience suffering all the time, no matter what. It's in the body. It's in the mind. You just realize that you cannot run away from it. Because like you have to really see face to face with this suffering. Suffering again. Suffering again. But you just have to accept it. Because you can't run away from your own mind and your own body. When your own mind is suffering. And your own body is also suffering. So you would see it this way, that, oh, this is also suffering. You can't do anything. Just accept it as it is. Nothing happens except suffering. So this is the feature of suffering, which will come into your mind as the conclusion. And then the last one, anatta, or no self. So this is the experience of the mind when you see all the objects that you're conscious of being away from you. There is the term, like the technical term, which is called authority. Like it's being altered. Like you and the object seems to be one, but now it's like there is observer and object. You realize that there are two entities and there's the distance between the observer and the object. You cannot be the thing that you see. Realizing that is anatta. So that is something else. That's not you. When I see you, you cannot be me. When the inner eye sees the pain, the body pain cannot be the observer. So the important point is to try to develop the observer, realizing that the object of consciousness is far away from you. It's not you. There are two things. This is the most crucial part that we have to try to develop, like an observer. Knowing that what you know is not you. What the inner eye sees cannot be the eye. That is anatta, something apart from you. Not that. Okay, so right view is when the insight, or when the inner eyes are developed. The inner eye is just an observer. The silent observer is considered to be this inner eye. And you realize that there is, something observing what's happening all the time. Just like if you sit and meditate, you can try to sit knowing that this body is sitting. So there is something like the knower somewhere there, seeing this sitting thing. Or sometimes, you experience like the whole body. Within this body, the sensation arises here and there, like arises in the big room. Your body is like the whole room, which is empty, but then the sensation happens here and there, here and there, here and there. And you look at this thing as if there is this divine eyes seeing the parameter of the body and the sensation happening, as if there is a part. That's the experience. That is the experience when you have insight eyes. And with this course, I will try so hard that will make sure that you know when this insight eyes are developed. You will have experience of that. So I will try so hard that you know that this is it. This is it. So that you can go on. Because this is the goal. This is the goal. Not here, not about meditation, not about calmness, but about development of the observer, the silent observer. Sometimes it observes the monkey mind thinking, giving you so many opinions. We call it like madman talking, convincing. Now, there is this madman and there is the mute man. The mute man observed silently of the madman. Just let the madman be as mad as it wants. But you're on the side of the mute man, observing it silently. So this is what we try to develop. Okay, and then the last one, right thought, to understand the nature of duality. Now, we see that there is always dualism existing in the world. You cannot run away from one and choose the other. Just accept both. And middle way of thought as the freedom from the influence of duality. That's what the goal of right thought, because it's not about trying not to think. We need thinking process. You're a human being. And that is, like the most important part, being a human, to have the intellectual mind. Sure, thinking. We don't want to subdue it. We need the thinking. But we have to train the right thought. That means that we know that, okay, this thought is wholesome or good, and this thought is unwholesome. But both disappear. So we focus more on the common things that they share. Either good or bad, they're gone. So what's the point of good or bad? They're equal. Because they're gone exactly the same way. That's one way to develop right thought. That either way, these two extremes of good thinking or bad thinking, they're equally be gone. And then the second way to train the right thought is if you have a negative thought arising in your mind and you tend to be a pessimistic person, so there's no way that you can change yourself to be optimistic right away. So what you can do is whenever there's pessimism arising, you can train your mind to create the opposite way of thought in order to counterpart this, knowing that, okay, this can happen, and at the same time, you can create something totally opposite, and you can wait that both of them are being created by you anyway, and they're gone. So you can create the opposite part, that it's more balanced, that you understand both and could finally let go of both. So this is about right thought. And the liberation of misperception and worldly wisdom will be, the result of right thought. Because you let go of the thinking process which always dominates you. And it's like when we're mindful, you're in the awareness mode. And you have to be sure that there are two modes, awareness mode and thinking mode. So we have to train the mind to really realize, to know well about these two modes through your own experience. Okay, so, and if you develop all of this, there are only 8 checklists. Not many. Only 8 things in a day. And then this will, all of this will bring you the consequence of happiness. Step by step. First of all, you can let go. Learn how to let go. And it's so challenging to learn to experience directly for yourself about the process. because it keeps you go on, like to see what's happening next. It's like you never know because you're at the present moment. And what's present is the only thing which is real. The reality happens only in one short moment, which is now. What's past is not true, it's not real anymore. So when you emerge in your thought, it's like you're gone from the present moment because it might be about yesterday, your thought might be about tomorrow, about the plan, and it's like, then it's not real. Do you want to live real life? Or do you want to live in your creation of mind? Yeah, that's your choice. Okay, so when you can come out of the thought mode, the thinking mode that always dominates you, and build the world around you, then you're free. You're free. You're liberated. But it doesn't mean that you subdue everything. It's there. It's there. You see, the world is there. And it's not like this. It's there. Okay? It's 10.